Assassin's Creed Shadows. The trailer came out, I reacted to it, and I genuinely liked it. I like the idea of having two different characters that are playable in the game. I did notice that one of the characters is not Asian and he's black. And then a lot of people in the chat said, well, it is historically accurate. This person existed. And I was like, okay, then that's fine, you know, no problemos, amigos. Like, usually with Assassin's Creed, we would always have historical characters as NPCs that we do missions for. Never have we actually played a character that in history existed before, but that's a good thing, you know. I don't see anything wrong in that. And I really loved how it looked like. So, yeah. Not everyone is agreeing with me, and apparently a lot of people are hating on it. So let's see what Ubisoft has to explain. Assassin's Creed Shadows explains samurai, shinobi, and feudal Japan. Let's see how they see it from their perspective, and I'm sure they're not going to mention anything about the fact that this guy is not Asian.
Hello, this is Akeem Milne, the
the
Assistant
worst
Director of
Netflix with an anime.
Cinematic
Nice.
Design on Assassin's Creed Shadows.
And I'm
Also, I would love to focus on this type of video instead of focusing on the drama behind it, because at the end of the day, I'm sure if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, you will still play this game, no matter this thing that people are talking about. So let's see, why would we be enthusiastic about this game?
Creative Director of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and today we're going to take a look at our reveal trailer of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
From the beginning, we really wanted to try to create this atmosphere of danger, so we're getting glimpses of our Shinobi protagonist, Naoe, as she chases down a target through the shadows. We want it to feel as though she has complete control over her environment, and a real homage to old ninja films where we just get like little glimpses of her in the background. Not really sure what we're seeing.
I love this, yeah.
And finally we get her incredible reveal here, cloaked in shadows.
Yeah, like she looks
Naoe
like a
is
ninja, but
from
also she
Iga.
has the Assassin's Creed.
She is a farmer warrior, daughter of Fujibayashi Nagato. She is a capable person, let's say that,
that's
as
a
we were
real
going to
person
learn in
in
the trailer.
history.
She will be taking on a role of protector.
All I have ever known in my life.
What we're looking at is the province of Iga, the homeland of Naoe. It's isolated a little bit in the mountains, and they
it
were
looks
home
really
of
beautiful.
the Shinobi. They come from here, or at least a portion
I don't
of them
know if
come
it's
from
going to
here.
be as beautiful
And the
as Ghost of
interesting thing is,
Tsushima, but I
once
hope
we
so.
traveled to Japan and we visited this province, it came very clear how
Oh, that guy's
world came
her
together.
father. So her father is the most famous ninja. Oh my god, was he mentioned in Naruto? Okay.
Like, so it's sort of isolated in the mountains, sort of kept to itself. It's a very good representation, in my opinion, of that place.
Our land,
Thank you, Goku.
our customs, my family burns in the name of unification.
So what we're seeing here are the troops of Oda Nobunaga. In 1579, there was the first attack from Oda Nobunaga's clan, and then in 1581, there was a second attack, a much more violent one, where Iga got crushed. And what we're seeing here is the Oda troops marching into the province of Iga.
Bringing split screen into the trailer was part of our attempt at formulating an homage towards a lot of Japanese media and culture. And so we try to incorporate some of that style into the game as well. It's reflected in a lot of our cutscenes and cinematics. And we thought it'd be really cool to bring that on as early as possible.
Yeah.
And so we pushed for it in the reveal trailer as well.
They definitely went there, especially with the split screen. The coloring scheme. They went with the contrast, complementary contrast of orange and blue there. So I really love
allows
that.
us to kind of
It's
show
really
off both
artistic.
protagonists at various points in their lives and how maybe that relationship can change over time.
When we have Yasuke that turns around and says,
You are still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the sea.
it is a proverb from Japan. For us, sort of resonates with both their journey. As they open their eyes or know a little bit more, things are not necessarily as they seem. And that's sort of a driving force for them. That's what is going to unite Naoe and Yasuke. That's something that's bigger.
The ocean's filled with new ships.
So here we're in Sakai, a big port in Japan. The ships that we are seeing are Portuguese ships. They are a version of the black ships or a lot of the merchant ships that were coming in and out of Japan at this point.
Okay.
A few came to Sakai, but mostly in Nagasaki. But for the sake of the trailer, it's happening in Sakai.
Even the detail on the ship there.
The person we're
That's
seeing on
cool.
screen is Oda Nobunaga. So he is known for being one of the 3 great unifiers of Japan. A very polarizing
cool.
character, depending on which side you were.
We're seeing Yasuke's first audience here with Oda Nobunaga, and one of the reasons why this meeting could even happen is due to Oda's deep relations with the Portuguese through trade, which resulted in him becoming quite a force to reckon with when it came to the use of Teppo. All this to say, Oda Nobunaga is an incredibly powerful figure at the time, very important to our story as well.
Interesting.
There are a lot of speculation about Yasuke's arrival.
Speculation is the. It's like the nicest word you could have used for this. Now, from my side, I genuinely do not care. I think this is amazing. I love this. I have no hate whatsoever behind this. But yeah, Twitter was wild. Wild.
The most common one is that Yasuke came in a couple of years before this meeting, and he learned Japanese quite fast, and he was very fluent into the Japanese culture, and it impressed Oda. So his stature, of course, impressed Oda. He was seen as super big. His skin color was one thing as well, that the reports on the Chronicle of Oda say that was the first African man that Oda had ever seen. Oda asked him to stay with him. And
I mean, I did hear from Twitter. I didn't really go in depth to check by myself, which I could have and should have done maybe, about the history of the character. But I heard that he wasn't particularly a samurai. I heard that he was more of a helper, like a tea guy or something like that. So I was like, wait, what?
This is what we know pretty much of the story of Yasuke. So there are a couple of elements that we will see also in the game.
Probably
that
started
are,
as that, yeah.
Historical reports
Maybe
of
he
his
taught
presence.
them, yeah.
But then after that, there's quite a bit of an interesting what if with him that will happen.
What if? Okay, he said what if though.
The initial volley, this is a concept that we had very early on, this really cool idea of
Liberty of
the initial
interpretation for
reveal
the sake of the
Yasuke
game. Exactly,
emerging
what is
from
wrong
the
with that?
Gunsmoke. To us, that really ties him to Oda's battle style, and as probably one of the most important people to Oda in our game specifically. And what we're seeing here is a battle between the Oda clan and another rival clan, as a big part of the unification was taking down some of these rival clans for territory. What we see is Yasuke cutting people down with a great deal of ease. These are all moves that are going to be in the game. We specifically made sure all the choreography shown in the trailer are all taken directly
nice.
from gameplay itself.
Yeah, but it's definitely like enhanced for cinematography.
Or choose another path.
I can
One
wait
of our
for
big
that
breakthroughs
gameplay
in this
trailer.
game is definitely this element of dynamic time, seasons, and weather. And we were kind of racking our brains with how to depict this in a trailer. And so one of the ways we thought about establishing their relationship was to kind of break the rules of time a lot. We're seeing them out of place a lot. They're seeing each other, but that might not be literally the first time they meet or lock eyes. And what we're seeing here really is kind of a culmination of both of their journeys.
Even though Yasuke has been on a journey as a fighter for Oda Nobunaga, does he think that this is the right thing to do? Now he's confronted to the destruction of province of Iga. So sort of a tying two worlds together at this point.
You know what I feel like in the story is gonna happen? He's gonna see that he's doing more harm than good. He's gonna meet her. They're gonna have this debate, and he's gonna change sides, and maybe he will even betray his master. I would like that.
In particular, the shot of them in the open field to us is really this moment.
And
out
then
of
they're
time.
gonna marry and have babies.
It's them speaking to each other on a level that might not literally have ever happened, but it's really the moment that really brings them together. And just like a quick little note here for those eagle-eyed
I'm a girl,
viewers,
guys, leave me
you'll
alone.
note that the split screen is slightly different here, which was once again a deliberate decision we made. The other one has a bit more of a slant to it, maybe a bit more aggressive, especially if you're familiar with like anime or manga codes,
I
comic
love
book
this
codes.
so much.
But here, bringing
Same.
it, flattening it out a little bit, establishes that maybe the relationship is different. I don't want to
Yeah.
speak too much about
And
that.
now they are
but
on the
given
same
the time period of our game,
line.
unification is a really big deal. And I think the concept of unification can mean very different things to different people. And it definitely resonates differently for our two main characters.
then we must look for it together.
There you go. We must look for it together.
So what we're seeing here is that Naoe and Yasuke do have allies in the world. Like every good shinobi, she has access to a network of spies and people that can help her and trade for information.
Such
And
an
we're seeing
assassin
here
move.
is somebody giving her information on the whereabouts of the person that she's looking for. In the game, you can switch between both characters as you please. They do have a life when they're
Big
not
Bang,
played.
send it to
that
me.
When you switch back characters, you can see them do something different.
Most of our black box level designs allow for both playstyles to work kind of perfectly, and you can choose the one that you prefer. If you want to go in and just be full of brawn, cut people down with Yasuke, you have that option. If you want to take a sneakier option, well, you'll see what that looks like in a second.
Rebuild.
This is my favorite part, the wink.
A big thing we were pushing for in our trailer was to really humanize our protagonists.
I love it.
Real emotional stakes.
I played
make
Ghost
them
of
feel like
Tsushima,
people
yeah.
you could actually
When
see
it
in
came
real
out
life,
on
especially given that
PlayStation.
Yasuke is based off
Amazing
a real person.
game.
We wanted to be authentic, at least somewhat, to a full breadth of emotions that he could portray.
And follow the blade.
We developed quite a bit of new tools for Naoe and stealth, and one of them is the grappling hook. And the grappling hook allows you to climb over walls that you cannot climb with Yasuke or without the hook, which opens different paths for Naoe. And there's quite a bit of hook points in the game, so within every layout that you're going to see, and sometimes
It's
come
gonna
in
be
from
fun
a
when you
different,
miss them and fall
entry
down
point.
and
So
die.
it's an integral part of their stealth arsenal, as she can navigate much faster into the open world.
And that's one of the big changes between Yasuke and Naoe. One of the key differences is her ability to take a much more vertical approach.
Yeah, it's like in
And
Syndicate.
a lot of our locations are big castles, big tenshu's with these giant walls, and it offers her a whole new vantage point for a lot of these missions where Yasuke doesn't have necessarily the same
No,
opportunity.
sweetie. It doesn't open
Now
a lot
we
of
can fight
advantages
and
point.
hold
It
her
opens
own
a lot
against
of
a
death
few enemies,
points.
but she's not a big
Clumsy
brawler
moves.
like Yasuke is to take on a horde of enemies, right? She is light armored and she's
Agile.
quick and she's
Yeah,
agile.
she's more like a rogue.
And that's definitely one of the key
Wow, he
elements.
said what I said.
Her sheer speed.
Yeah.
She's very, very quick and
It's
extremely
gonna be
lethal.
definitely like it. This game is gonna give you, in my opinion, at least I think, it's gonna give you two different play styles. One of them like quick rogue, agile like, but really low on health. She needs to be stealthy as possible. And the other one is like really tough slow mo guy with big weapons and heavy armor. So I really like that, but I also don't think that for each and every mission you will be able to choose a playstyle or a character. I have a feeling that you will have to follow a story, and for some reason, one character needs to be in a specific place while the other is a different place. Sometimes you can maybe choose a character with whom you want to finish a mission, but I don't think it's going to be the whole time like that. Yeah.
As soon as she's seen, the danger really rises for her, and she's got to get out of there.
Like
as
you
fast
cannot
as
just choose one character and play it the whole game, you know? I think they're going to force you into playing both just to enjoy both and see what they have done with the game.
possible. Is destruction in the game,
Alright.
Joe? Are some things breakable in our game? Would you
shit
say?
is breakable in the game. Part of our dynamic world and the dynamism that we created for Japan goes
Dynamism.
also in the low-level destruction.
Dynamism.
So the weapons that we put a lot of little technological breakthroughs for our weapons, where you can destroy a large amount of props in the game. You could see him plow through the Suji doors. You could
That's
destroy
fun.
a full market if you wanted with the Kanobo. Obviously, the goal is still not to break everybody's stuff, but Yasuke can do it as well as Naoe, depending on the weapons they're using.
That's right. Yasuke's not the only one that can break through those shoji doors. Now he can assassinate people through them.
Yeah, because they're paper, of course. You're just like, "Wacha!"
This is a weapon that
Through a door.
Yasuke can carry around
Of
in the
course,
game.
amazing.
It's called a Kanobo. It's a very heavy
Kanobo,
weapon
yeah.
that does a lot of damage. It's a little bit of a slower weapon compared to katana, for example.
Yeah.
But it is a weapon that brings a lot of destruction as Yasuke wields it. And Yasuke is a strong man, so he is the perfect candidate to handle the Kanobo.
Exactly what I
I said,
thought.
who do you serve?
Who do you serve? Oh, what a
We
bitch.
are the shadows.
And the Assassin's
That's
Creed
the
music.
light.
The hidden blade has two functions, so it can come out as a regular hidden blade, like for
Or she can
stabbing
turn it
people.
around
But now we can
on the
extrude the second portion and flip it so that she has
Yeah,
a dual
I
wield
love that.
using a smaller weapon called a tanto and
Oh my
her
God, I
hidden
can't
blade
wait.
at the same time. So That's a very
Please
fast,
don't make it
damaging
like Valhalla,
situation
or
for
like don't
most
make it
people
really
that
long.
are fighting her at that time.
Give me a short story
And what Joe
that I
touched
can
on is
enjoy.
something that I know fans have been wanting for a long time, to bring back Hidden Blade combat, like being able to just fight with your Hidden Blade. And we brought that back with the Tonto style. It's very cool, very fast. Once again, very lethal in Naoe's hands.
I just don't want to have to like grind so much.
When it came to
go
the name
a
of the
different
game,
place
that
in
was
the map.
something I remember Joe talking about, making sure we had some sort of base into the original lore. And this line was always something that really stuck out with you. We put it in the trailer as well as a kind of punctuation, shadows. They are working in the shadows to serve the light. And that's always been the callback we wanted to conjure with this. Paired with that is also our renewed emphasis on stealth in this game. There are a lot of new mechanics we've added. There are a lot of really interesting tools we've given Naoe.
Nice.
I think for fans of stealth, you're going to be extremely pleased with some of the mechanics we've added into the game.
I'm a fan of stealth, but stealth is not a fan of
level
me.
for both characters.
I swear.
Naoe being a shinobi, but coming from a place that is not necessarily prominent or just at the forefront of the conflict, but a little bit more emerging back from the shadows. It fits with her. And Yasuke as well, coming from a background that's outside of Japan. They are lurking in the shadows, but they are doing so to protect the land. This is a very interesting narrative that will flow towards something pretty positive for us in the game, and very satisfying in my opinion.
Thank you so much for watching.
I literally
Assassin's Creed
start
Shadows
every
is out
single
November
mission
15th, and we cannot wait to show you more.
stealthy. Now, the percentage of the ones that I do finish stealthy are less than 1%. But hey, I tried, okay? Let's see the comments. I'm really interested. Is it the same? The ongoing editing war on Yasuke's Wikipedia page is absolutely hilarious. Don't buy games from companies that hate you. Oh, wow. I just wanted a Japanese story about Japanese people. Ghost of Tsushima. Hello. You got it. Best game ever. For that, John. Out of all the legendary samurais Japan had, they chose the one ceremonial samurai with no legend to his name. Honestly, you can never satisfy them. Man, I can't wait for AC Africa, where we will finally have an Asian male protagonist. And what is wrong with that? It is a video game. It literally is not there to educate anyone. It's there to entertain you. I watch Bridgerton, guys. It's a period drama where there are people on the throne that are black. Nah, brother. Back in the day, they were slaves. Not in this adaptation. And it's like one of the most best romantic adaptations in the recent years on Netflix. I mean, it's like literally #1 best-selling book for period dramas. And in recent years, at least, like we're not talking about Pride and Prejudice or whatever. I literally have nothing. There is nothing wrong in that. I do not understand why. And not only that, they will get an Asian person that they can play. They already have the representation there. And not only that, they have a whole game where it's a Japanese story about Japanese people. Like, why can't someone do something different? Why do we all have to follow this pot? You know, like we all have to follow a box, and God forbid somebody tries something different without getting hated. It is a video game. Why are we not talking about the gameplay? Why are we not focusing more on, is this game going to be worth playing? Is it going to be entertaining? Is it going to be satisfying to play? Did they change the gameplay? Did they improve on this? Did they improve on that? Did they bring this back? Why are we not talking about these things? How are the graphics going to be? How well the story is going to be told? Annoying. I honestly think it's so annoying. Ubisoft Japan, get comfortable with not owning your own culture. From where is Ubisoft, by the way? Why would they have to represent someone else's culture? Why are they like, is the government calling them and telling them, hey, yo, you have to represent your culture? you have to represent this country's culture to the point, or else, you know, we fire you. Like, I don't get it. It's French. It's France. It's France, you guys. Like, if anything, French people, there's a lot of black people in France. Historically, there's so many black people in France. And if you think about it, the company is French. They have probably a lot of black people who want to be in a video game just for fun. Why not? I want to just add someone who's black in a video game just because I am creating this game, and I am the owner and producer of the game, and I'm paying money for the game, and I want to have a black representation in a video game. It doesn't matter. You know, if anything, they are literally celebrating their own culture while celebrating someone else's culture as well. They are mixing both together. I really don't understand this. And they brought so many other historical characters that are Asian in the game. If you are really interested, you can go rewatch this video and see the names and go and read about these people. And there you got it. But no, 1, 2, 3 Asian representations in an Asian game is not enough, because there's this one black guy. There's this one person that is not Asian that is taking the attention from us. You know, like, I don't get it. Please, can somebody help me understand this? Is it just me? I love this one. We want gameplay. Yup, brother, we want gameplay. That's all I want. I want to play the game.